I'm at a point in my life where it's very hard to have super specific goals because I either get sidetracked from them or I end up putting so much effort into them that if they fail, it's heartbreaking. If people don't recognize the work I'm doing, it's heartbreaking, that kind of thing. But when I'm out and traveling, I've kind of had to understand that too, because even on this trip that I'm on, I told myself I'm going to start at the east end of Highway 74 and just take it west. I made it to almost Asheville. Still in North Carolina. I started about a week ago. Spent a couple nights in the URs, which that was a little sidetrack. That's like a 30-minute sidetrack. But then when I started realizing I was getting near Asheville, I was looking at some roads, and I've always wanted to go down to DuPont National Forest, State Forest. Just thought it was a cool name. There's a Lake Julia over there, which that's an interesting name in the family as well. So my dad had an aunt named Julia, and then my mom's name is Julia, and I have a cousin. I just realized that's name is Julia as well. So there's 3 different generations of Julias, and today's Thanksgiving, and I thought it would be nice to kind of spend the night on that lake. It wasn't even planned for this day, honestly. I just wanted to be there, and then like by the time I got there and even getting there, I had a sidetrack of going through Headwaters State Forest. So that was a few days. I was initially planning on heading straight to DuPont State Forest and trying to figure out how to get to the lake and maybe doing some kayaking or something around there. But I missed it. Like I went past it going west and then kind of had to double down, go through Brevard, which is really cool, and then south to what I realized was basically like the state line. And then I'm going to Headwaters State Forest, which has a trail to Sassafras Mountain, which is along the South Carolina divide with North Carolina, and it's a tri-point where 3 rivers originate. And I thought that was really cool. Spent a couple nights in that general area. And then last night was in DuPont. I got there kind of late, but then this ranger or somebody working in the visitor center was super helpful. Because you're not supposed to camp there, but when you show up late and like I was looking just to get a trail map, he's like, "Well, are you looking for anything specific?" And when I told him about Lake Julia, he's like, "Okay. Usually people go to see these waterfalls, which are nearby, but if you want the lake, like he basically traced it out on the map." And then like drew an extra little line. He's like, there's not like a trail marker here, like on the map. This is the first car I've seen in a while. So this guy was like putting a little mark on the map. So I had the printed out map because my phone hasn't had signal in a few days. I don't know how I'm going to keep up with these videos. I'm going to be lagging. At least I don't know. I don't know when the next time I'm going to stop is. Anyway, I just get sidetracked, where if I was just dead set on staying on 74 no matter what, I wouldn't have seen all this. So that's Looking Glass Mountain. This is very close to what is considered the cradle of forestry, which is an area related to like the Biltmore estate back in the day, and the Vanderbilt family that was really focused on like natural preservation and, you know, natural resources and all that kind of stuff. So they claimed a lot of this is Pisgah National Forest. I think a lot of this came from that. And I'm very close to where I guess where the original school was founded. There was a forestry school that, I mean, it's really cool. It's one of the, if you think about it, it's one of the older types of schools that there can be, you know, how to manage land and stuff, like and wildlife, and, you know, using and caring for land, right? So that school is still called the Cradle of Forestry. There's tons of outdoor education schools and groups and everything around here. This is where I went to Outward Bound, very close to here. I might have climbed Looking Glass Rock. I wish I could remember the specific names. We were out 10 days on that excursion. That was when I was 16. That was my first backpacking trip, excursion style. We didn't pick up supplies the whole time. We carried 10 days worth of supplies between 10 or 12 people, including rock climbing gear. So we had ropes. We had ropes and helmets and carabiners, and God, that was quite an initiation into the lifestyle. That was wild. And then that was a couple years before starting college. And I've been around the state a lot, but I've mainly poked around like Boone, Linville Gorge, and got this friend gave that to me after I took them there. Pisgah from the Outward Bound. So there were a few spots, like Looking Glass Falls is really close. There's kind of a line. Today's Thanksgiving, so there's, you know, a bunch of families out and stuff. So I noticed a couple of things, like when we like when I was going Outward Bound, there were some things here that we stopped, like Sliding Rock is nearby. It's way too cold for that now, but anyway, I was just going to pass through because getting back on track after digression, I'm trying to get back to 74, and I think the highway I'm on is 276. Could be wrong, but like I noticed that it kind of wove through the mountains and it's super scenic, and it gets me back up to 74. And of course, as I'm going, I stop for photos, and then I notice this just state road. You know, it's kind of a campers only kind of thing. Mountain bikers, like, people don't drive up here for fun, just to drive usually, you know. If it was a little later in the day, I would consider camping around here. You know, by the time I get through this road, I'll probably need to set up camp. So, I mean, I'm on no deadline, so it's all good. I just picked up food. Went by the supermarket, and it was so busy, and I was like, oh, it's Thanksgiving. And I went to one of those fancier markets. Like, it's not, you know, how sometimes like two grocery stores, like almost right across the street, and like there's the small one and the big one, and I just happened to be on the side of the street with the big one. And I was like, oh my God, there's so many people, and, you know, it's everybody getting stuff for Thanksgiving and all that. But I was just in there getting Cliff Bars, and I swear they hid those things from me. um, yeah, I ended up doing like two. I wove through the entire store. It was like the kind of place that I wanted to be in and out of really, really quick today, and I was just like, damn it. I ended up grabbing some things that I thought would do, and then I finally saw them at the very end. I was like, oh, I went to put those bars back and got the Cliff Bars. Got some kombucha. It's good. I've been drinking mountain water the past couple days. I am not sick yet. I figure some kombucha will help kind of balance out that microbiome effect. If I'm getting any, it's so cold right now. It went below freezing last night, and like my gear is not really made for that. My sleeping bag has had a couple of holes in it for a while, so it's like all out of down. The feathers, like it's rated to be 20 degrees Fahrenheit, but like in the 40s, and especially this morning, I was like, oh my god! Like I have to bring other things in the bag with me to kind of hold on to that like resonates warmth. So I'm actually kind of hoping to find like a REI or some kind of outdoor outfitter kind of place. I just like REI because I've been a member for a long time, and I've always appreciated their selection of products, and their personal brand, REI brand, has always been good. I wear an REI jacket all the time. If I saw an REI cold weather sleeping bag, I'd get it. That's the next step, and then I need some kind of thermal layer, like if I'm walking around, like it gets cold or something, I need to get one of those. Something waterproof, a waterproof outer layer. I'm hoping I can get sponsored or something for doing this kind of stuff, and like legitimately get gear that I need to keep doing this stuff, because that would be pretty awesome. That would be super awesome. REI, hammock, Merrill shoes, Oru kayak, what else? Yeah, and any of the brands, I'm all about trying new brands and keeping it simple. I just like the simplicity of some brands. Like I just need a cold weather. I forget what the next level of rating. I think there's two main ratings for a sleeping bag, and one's like 20 and one's 0 maybe. I don't remember, but one's like you kind of have a step when you're getting sleeping bags. So I guess I'm gonna just keep going down this road. I think it goes through the forest for a while, and if it ends up getting past 2 or 3, I might try to set up a camp. But it's a national forest, so I can have a fire. Yeah, I might do that. Speaking of fires, the next thing as far as gear goes, other than a sleeping bag, would be a little collapsible saw. They have handles on either end, and it's kind of like a chain. It's just like a chainsaw almost, but like just with your hand, you wrap it around, and then when you fold it up, it's just the two handles, and then the rest of the chain kind of folds up itself. Yeah, I'm trying to find a good one of those. If it wasn't Thanksgiving, I would have stopped in Brevard at one of the many outdoor supply companies and probably got that kind of thing. But I think everything major is closed today because of Thanksgiving. So I have my shears. I'm just going to keep exploring this, but this is a story of my life right now. I think I started the video with that. Like, trying so hard to like prepare, like plan my career is it's just goes against the flow of how I think and how I explore. And right now I am 100% that lifestyle. Everything is in my car. If I end up some town that seems really nice, I can just stay there. I can get some basic work, or I can start doing some research, and into some more sustainable things. But it's all about the location, I think, right now. And if somehow I met somebody on this trip, was in a similar mindset, maybe they had a camper van or something, like, oh, I would just live that life, then I'd have a photographer. I'd have somebody to take photos while I'm driving and videos so that I don't have to stop every time. I don't have to drive with one hand. That'd be sweet. This thing's working out pretty well for me though. I got my camping gear in like 2 suitcases. One's basically like jackets and towels and stuff. The other's like normal clothes. Got my bag, that's a change of clothes. Got my like books and other towels. My kayak, toolbox, computer and stuff like that. Toiletries, medicine, stuff like that. Boom, that's it. That's my life. Food bag. Food bag. Food bag, my Nalgene's, my fresh supply of Cliff Bars, which they only sold in these small boxes. I was just like, God damn it. After walking around this entire store twice and finally finding them, they were these tiny little boxes. So to end this rant about my life and my traveling and everything like that, I will just say, kind of like in the video about keeping a fire going just to have a fire going, sometimes you just keep moving. Keep moving. Okay? That's it. Right now, I don't feel like doing a 3-point turn on the side of a mountain, so I'm going to keep moving. I gotta show off a little bit though. I just put this on the car. Yeah, we're bound, baby. Also repping UNC. And then added this. So these are 2 separate things, but I thought they'd be cool together, and I think it works. I'm gonna show you my license plate. Tool is great. Peace and love. That's it. I guess if you see my car and you watch these videos and then you see me, just say Chase. Hey, I follow you. I didn't follow you here, which would be obvious because like I can't live stream yet. And I'm like a week behind on uploading videos, so there's no telling where I am now. But if I happen to see you and you're like ahead of me somehow and we meet, that's pretty cool. Or if you just happen to be in that kind of direction that I'm talking about. Like, I'm trying to get back on 74 West, and I haven't checked to see how long 74 goes, how many states it goes through and stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure it's going to go maybe to Tennessee, but I'm really excited about Nantahala National Forest. That's where I'm ultimately going. Pisgah's freaking beautiful. I've passed through before, camped here before. I've climbed here before. I got a feeling about Nantahala. It's like past all the bigger cities when you're heading west. You got this kind of line that's like Asheville, Hendersonville, place was just at Brevard. Kind of going down this line. It's pretty built up. There's a college there and a few colleges in that kind of area, and a lot of different kinds of people. Country clubs and stuff, but big built up city. I think further west is going to be quieter. That's kind of what I'm going for. I want to be in one of those towns that has like the one bar and the one grocery store, the one cafe. And like, if you don't meet people there, that's it. Like, I hate having too many choices. It's so bad. That's my life too. I have too many choices. If there's just one road to travel, I'd be at the end of it by now. But I'm going all different directions. It's a good thing though. It's about freedom. It's about freedom and appreciating homes. See, when you travel a lot, there is always this point where you kind of wish you had a place to, go back and like get settled and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to act awkward when there's a car going by and like stop right there, but basically, like, they might be passing through too. First two I've seen in a while. Yeah, they might be doing what I'm doing, unless they both camped. It's gonna be kind of awkward though if I'm driving down this one way. Like, there's a pull off here, but I don't know about letting somebody in. Down there. So just gotta keep my eyes peeled. This is a 21-minute rant. It's about the point though. Just letting my thoughts wander because this is just how I am. If you enjoy this kind of stuff, please subscribe. It helps with the algorithm as far as this being sustainable lifestyle. That's a big thing. It also allows me to go live. I need a certain number of subscribers to go live. And I'm gonna run out of money really soon. A couple of months of this, like, that's all I really got in the tank as far as finances go. So, I might just have to stop wherever I run out of money and just start looking for work real quick. But I'd really love if I can get some support from people like you who are watching these. Sometimes it's just as simple as subscribing. I think I'm gonna have a Patreon for longer videos like this, but I just started this journey, and I haven't even checked into a motel. I'm telling you, like, starting another platform, your profile and all that. I should do that, and then have some unlisted videos like this where you can get to from like a website. See, I need to make a website. But for now, that's why I'm talking about this. Like, for now, you can subscribe, and that's gonna help a lot. That's the best thing you can do. And then I also put a PayPal link. So if you want to invest in my travels, like my gear, gas in the car, please use that link. If there's a way to comment what you're sending it for, if you say, oh, I'd love to, buy you a hammock or something, or like, here's towards the gear fund, or here's gas money, or whatever it is. Do your thing. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Just watching helps. And this is a long video, so if you've made it all the way to the end, like, you must be a fan, right? Yeah, if you made it all the way to the end and you're not subscribed yet, you should subscribe now and like this video if you like it. If you really like it, hit the like button. For now, goodbye. I'm going to keep going in this direction. I made it very simple for myself.